Why has this uninhabited volcanic island at the southern tip of Japan caught China's attention? Well, in 2020, the government of Japan purchased this 8.2 square kilometer island called Mageshima from a private developer for the equivalent of $146 million. Now, since 2023, the Japanese military has been quietly militarizing this island. Now, satellite images from September 2025 show clear outlines of airstrips and major structures emerging rapidly since mid-2024. Now, this militarization, you can see fuel dumps, runways, and piers to berth warships. This militarization, of course, mirrors China's muscle flexing in the region and threatening neighbors like Taiwan and Japan. Now, Mageshima Island is now being developed as a counter by the Japanese self-defense forces. It's a base that's going to be primarily managed by the air self-defense forces of Japan. That's what the Japanese Air Force is called. And this island is to serve as a training and operational hub for the JSDF, enhancing defense capabilities amid regional tensions with China. And the plans, of course, include 2 runways, a pier, ammunition depots, a fuel storage site, and support facilities. Now, it will take a few more years for this base to become fully operational. But when it does, the US military plans to relocate its carrier landing practices at this island. Now, the US military practices what is called touch and go landing for its carrier-based aircraft. It practices them on islands like Iwo Jima and Okinawa that are nearly 1,000 kilometers away from the Japanese mainland. But China now believes that this island is a preparation for Japan's involvement in Taiwan. On the 7th of November, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi stated that if China were to use warships and military force to bring Taiwan fully under its control, it could constitute a survival-threatening situation for Japan. It would potentially justify Japanese military involvement in the Taiwan crisis. Now, this is the first time that a Japanese Prime Minister has made such a statement. Now, China's Global Times recently called Mageshima Island a key component in Japan's offensive defense posture. Now, that's for one very important reason. That's because this island, Mageshima, is located near the Osumi Strait here, near the southern tip of Japan. Now, the Osumi Strait is a key waterway that's used by the Chinese Navy based here in the East China Sea and in the Yellow Sea. From bases here, this is where the Chinese Navy transits into the Western Pacific and in the Philippine Sea. Now, it is thus this island here, Mageshima, thus becomes a key asset which can be used as a maritime choke point in case of a full-fledged war with China. Now, Chinese experts are, of course, calling this island a replication of Japan's Second World War strategy of militarizing remote islands like Guam and Iwo Jima in the Pacific into ocean outposts to defend its empire. Now, they're comparing it even to Diego Garcia. That's another strategic US base in the Indian Ocean, which is used, of course, primarily by the United States. Now, like Diego Garcia, Mageshima is remote. It's unpopulated. It allows for significant military activity away from the public gaze. And very importantly, this island is also at the edge of the first island chain. Now, that's a theoretical construct of islands meant to hem the Chinese military onto the mainland, prevent them from breaking out into the Western Pacific. This is something that China is acutely aware of. But more importantly, Mageshima represents Japan's shift towards a more proactive and forward-leaning defense posture in its southwestern islands.